Hi, and welcome to Cinecontext. Today we are watching an action, crime, horror, and thriller movie named The Wrath of Becky. Let's get into it. An orphan named Becky sees her foster parents for the first time. She looks like the perfect child and keeps positively surprising her new parents. They say grace and seem to get along splendidly. After this, they say goodnight, and Becky and her dog Diego get out of the house and never come back. She is an orphan because 4 neo-Nazis murdered her family in search of a key hidden under their house. She killed all 4 of them and now takes the key with her everywhere she goes. Becky is training in the woods when she falls into a big trap that she made herself. She gets to the house, where she rents a room from an old lady named Elena. They are eating breakfast and say what they are grateful for. Becky says she is grateful for Diego, and Elena says she is grateful for another day on Earth. Becky works at a diner, and somebody calls her sweetheart. She is upset about it, but the man keeps calling her that. She imagines killing the man right here right now, but doesn't do it. At lunch, Becky is eating when some marmalade falls on her clothes. After that, she is waiting for her shift to end and stops working. At home, Becky and Elena are playing Scramble, and Elena mentions that you can tell a lot about a person by the words they make. Then Becky plays the word killer. The radio is on and says something about an extremist group named the Noblemen that will probably try to kill the senator. At work, some noblemen get in. One guy instantly insults her and says that Becky is a stripper name. She doesn't say anything about it and brings them to their table. They are talking about the upcoming rally that they are going to attend that is against the senator, and one guy named Sean is scared that it is not going to be a rally alone. Deej and Anthony don't want Sean to worry and are making fun of him. Anthony is rude to Becky again, and when Becky brings them the coffee, she pours it all over him. Becky clocks out and goes away when we see the 3 men waiting for her. In the night, there are burglars in the house, and it are the noblemen again. They hit her dog and hold her at gunpoint. The 3 guys are about to torture Becky when Elena shows up with a shotgun. Deej puts the gun down, but Anthony takes his own gun and kills Elena. Becky gets flashbacks of her parents getting killed in attacks, only to knock herself out. In the morning, she wakes up and can't find her dog because the noblemen stole it. The guys get to their destination, and Anthony talks to Sean to make sure he won't say anything about last night. Deej wants to tell Sean that this is not only a rally, but also an attempt on the senator's life, but Anthony says he doesn't need to know that yet. Becky has a funeral for Elena and says where she is grateful for. She gets to the shed and takes all the useful stuff she can find. She tries to find someone named Daryl because the noblemen mentioned that name. First she gets to an old lady with the name, but after this she finds the good Daryl in the headquarters of the noblemen. Inside the house, the noblemen are praying and get to eating. A guy named Twig made the food, and everyone thanks him for that. Daryl notices that Sean doesn't eat and confronts him. Diego is acting up, and Anthony says that he is okay, and Daryl shouldn't worry about it. Sean gets to the toilet and starts barfing. Then Becky gets in the house and sees a mannequin of the senator. Then she sees the plans the noblemen made for tomorrow. Daryl is waiting for Sean, and they get to the room where Becky is. Becky hides under a couch, and Daryl asks Sean if he even wants to be a nobleman. Then Daryl shows him a thumb drive with all the noblemen members and their addresses. Daryl talks about his time in the army and says proudly how he choked a kid to death. When they are gone, Becky takes the drive and gets out. She gets to the nobleman's shed and finds a lot of weapons in it. The doorbell rings, and it is Becky who ran away and left a phone for the noblemen. The 3 guys explain to Daryl and Twig that they stole Becky's dog, but leave the killing of Elena out of the story. They pick up the phone, and Becky is reciting a strange nursery rhyme. Daryl says to give the dog back to the girl, and Anthony volunteers to bring it to her. He asks where she is, and Becky wants him to follow her. Anthony does that and holds her at gunpoint. Then Anthony falls into a trap that she set earlier, and Becky takes the gun. In the house, they are singing a racist noblemen's song, and we see Becky doing some things. Becky knocks on the door, and when Daryl opens it, a grenade in the mouth of Anthony explodes. The rest of the guys get there, and Sean starts barfing again. Inside, Twig asks if they need to call the cops, but Daryl says that that is not a good idea because they are going to kill the senator tomorrow. This is the first time Sean hears this and gets upset. He wants to leave, but Daryl kills him. The phone rings again, and we see Becky scouting the house of the noblemen. She also says that she stole the thumb drive, and Twig is mad and tries to find her. He gets outside, and Becky shoots a crossbow through both sides of his mouth, not killing him. She runs away, and we see that Deej takes the car, escapes and drives away. Becky gets in the shed, and Twig is there too, and has a shotgun. She throws a gas grenade, and Twig can't see anything and gets out of the shed. She is about to kill him, but Twig says that he has a son. Becky asks the name, and Twig says it is Adolf. Then she kills him with a machete. After this, she gets shot by a tranquilizer dart and wakes up in the house all tied up. Daryl introduces Becky to his mother, who leads the Noblemen operation, and it is the old lady also named Daryl. The only reason they haven't killed her yet is because they want the thump drive. They torture the dog, and we see Becky getting furious. She gets out of the ropes, and Bear sprays the man. The old Daryl holds her at gunpoint and is about to kill her dog, but Becky takes a knife and hits her in the head with it. Becky gets back in the woods, and Daryl follows her with a gun. He is about to kill her, but he steps in a bear trap. With the other foot, he steps in one too, and falls down with his head in another bear trap. Becky reunites with her dog, only to find the old lady still alive. She holds her at gunpoint, but she misses completely because her brain was hit, and Diego kills her. Later, she gets investigated by the CIA, and the woman asks Becky if she wants to work for them. She also says that Becky will get to know what the key does, that the Nazis who killed her parents were trying to dig up, hinting at a next adventure. Then we see Deej again with car trouble. Another car gets there and it is Becky. She takes her bazooka and shoots at the car. Deej is dead, and the movie ends. Thank you for watching The Wrath of Becky. If you liked it, subscribe.